Welcome to the Blanco Wellness Podcast. Thank you for being here. Take a breath, settle in, and let's talk today about one of the simplest and most overlooked forms of nourishment available to us. When most people think about eating well, the conversation quickly becomes complicated. Calories, macros, conflicting studies, the latest dietary framework that contradicts the one before it. Health, in the popular imagination, tends to arrive dressed as restriction, as a long list of things to eliminate, avoid, and feel guilty about. Yet some of the most genuinely useful guidance about nourishing the body is not complicated at all. One of the most straightforward is this: eat as many colors as you can. Not a metaphor. The actual physical colors of actual food, the deep green of leafy vegetables, the red of tomatoes and berries, the orange of carrots and sweet potatoes, the yellow of capsicum and corn, the purple of cabbage and eggplant, the near white of garlic and onion. Each color in the plant world corresponds to a different family of compounds, pigments and phytonutrients that the plant produces for its own purposes, and that the body, when it receives them, uses in ways that no single supplement or processed product has ever managed to fully replicate. The more colors on the plate, the more diverse the range of what the body receives. Nature, it turns out, already designed the masterpiece. The task is simply to eat it. There is something worth pausing on here. Walk through a market where fresh produce is displayed, properly displayed, unhurried, the kind of place where the tomatoes are still warm from the field. The visual impression alone is striking. An arrangement of fresh vegetables and fruits contains a range of color that is genuinely beautiful, a visible demonstration that nourishment does not have to feel like deprivation. A plate built from a wide variety of plants, greens alongside reds, alongside oranges, alongside purples, is both more nourishing and, simply, more pleasing to look at. The abundance is the point, the joy of it is the point. This matters because many people's relationship with food has quietly become adversarial. Food is something to be managed, negotiated with, controlled. Eating happens quickly, standing up, with a screen nearby, the meal completed efficiently as a task rather than experienced as something worth being present for. The body is fed, but the person was barely there. The Taoist tradition describes the quality of genuine attention brought to ordinary activities as one of the more direct paths to genuine well-being. Not the elaborate practice, not the scheduled retreat, but the simple act of being actually present for what is directly in front of you. A meal given genuine attention is a different experience from the same meal consumed on autopilot. The flavors are different. The sense of having genuinely eaten, rather than having processed fuel, is different. There is a related practice that costs nothing and changes the quality of eating considerably. Before taking the first bite, simply look at what is on the plate. Notice the colors, the textures, the specific combination of things that came from different soils and different conditions and arrived here through the work of many people. This is not performance, not a ritual to be photographed or announced. It is a moment of honest attention, which is its own form of gratitude. The Buddhist tradition describes this quality of mindful eating not as a technique, but as the simple restoration of genuine presence to an activity that most people have learned to do entirely on autopilot. The food does not change, the relationship with it does. The shift that tends to make the most practical difference in how people eat is a shift in the primary question. Instead of asking what to eliminate, what to cut out, restrict, or feel guilty about, the more generative question is what to add. How can I include another color today? A handful of berries alongside breakfast, a handful of dark leafy greens in the evening meal, a side of roasted vegetables in whatever color was missing this week. The frame of addition tends to produce a different quality of engagement than the frame of restriction. It is oriented toward abundance rather than toward lack, toward the full range of what the body is designed to receive, rather than toward the narrowing of what it is allowed. The body is, without exaggeration, remarkable. Right now, without any conscious involvement on your part, it is maintaining a heartbeat, filtering blood, repairing cellular damage, regulating temperature, coordinating 10,000 simultaneous processes that would be impossible to manually manage even if you spent every waking moment trying. It does all of this faithfully, continuously, without acknowledgement. Food is one of the primary ways we can participate in that work, not through guilt or punishment or the anxious monitoring of every input, but through the simple, consistent, caring choice to give the body access to the diversity of nutrients it was designed to work with. Seen this way, eating colourfully is not a diet. It is a form of respect, a daily, practical expression of care for something that asks nothing from you except to be decently tended. Not perfectly, not according to any specific system, just with something like genuine attention and something like genuine care. As we close today, the invitation is a simple one. The next time you sit down for a meal, take one moment to look at what is in front of you before you begin. Notice the colours. Which ones are present, which ones are missing, what the plate tells you about the range of nourishment being offered, not as an assessment or a source of guilt, as a moment of genuine noticing, which is the beginning of a more honest and more generous relationship with food. Because health is not built in a single dramatic decision. It is built through small, consistent, caring choices repeated across ordinary days. And some of those choices can be as simple as looking at your plate and asking, what colour can I add today? Thank you for being here with me today. Until next time, be well.